Pashas Yisro, Tafshin Pei Dalet. All right, let's jump in the sugya right now, and we're gonna try to unveil a very, very interesting subject that you probably never paid attention. Everyone I talk to never pays attention to these little details. Where is Shiur? Do I have it here? Yeah. Okay. Moshe Rabbeinu goes on the third day to wake up the Bnei Yisrael. It's the day the Torah would be given. Vayehi bayoyim hashelishi. I'm asking you a question. Is the Torah was a happy event? You know, was something that's going to help the Bnei Yisrael down the line? Or it's something that's a sad event? Obviously, it's the most joyful event that there is. 994 doiros before Hashem created the world, he created the Torah. The whole world was created based upon the Torah. The world cannot sustain itself without the Torah. Bnei Yisrael cannot live among the Goyim without the Torah. Why do we say Vayehi? And not once, twice. Vayehi, again. What's the sadness here? Bnei Yisrael are going to raise themselves to a level that they're going to cancel death. They're going to go back to the level of Adam HaRishon, like when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. The Zohar say on this in Bereshis, there's never going to be a door like the door of the Midbar. They saw Hashem face to face. Hashem revealed himself to them. If we had ancestors to that level that were able to correct all the chataim from all the 4 generations, the Dor HaMabul, the Dor Enosh, Dor HaMabul was the Arayas, Dor Enosh was the Avodah Zarah, the Dor HaFlaga was to try to remove the Shechina and Kucha Berichu, and we're going to go more on that one today. And Sdoim, and we know what they used to do. And these Bnei Yisrael that went through Mitzrayim and they are in the Midbar right now are going to reach the heavens. Why Vayehi? Now look at this. B'hiyosa boiker, when it was the morning. Every time it says in the Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, Lech ba'boiker to Paro. Vayashkem Avram ba'boiker. What's this lashon b'hiyos? When he went, it was. When it was b'hiyos, haboiker, the morning. And why is he missing the vav here, b'hiyos? All of a sudden, the vav disappeared. Haboiker, there's never a vav. Vayehi koilos. There were sounds. Oh, the 2 vavs are gone. Uvrakim and lightnings. The anon kaved and the heavy smoke or alahar on the heart. Vekoil, no vav. Shofar, no vav. Chazak me'oid. Me'oid never has a vav. Vayecherat kolaam asher b'machane, they all tramp. But only those who were in the machane, not the one who were outside. Okay, so if you were 2 steps out of the machane, you were not scared, right? But the whole world heard about Matan Torah. Now, I just want to show you the question I asked on the Vav. If you go to the 3rd pasuk, same colors, Vayehi koila shofar. All of a sudden, they all have a Vav. Hoylech, Moshe v'Elokim yanenu bekoil. All have a Vav. What happened here in the 1st pasuk that the Vavs are all missing? There's not one with the Vav. I'll never reach all these answers tonight. I mean, it would be a 3-hour share, but I'm going to take the part on the Vav and try to build you and explain you exactly from the world is world, this was the fight. And this is the ongoing fight of the world. And where the Torah stands in it, and try to give you, you know, Shabbos, they're going to know more, obviously, and why the Torah was given with fear. Vayehi, charada, says the Zohar, when you say the word charada, is like you see Gehinnom clearly. And because you see Gehinnom clearly, like Yitzchak, when he saw Esav, Vayehi Yitzchak charada gedola ad meod. He trembled. Because now all of a sudden everything seems clear. If you don't do the Torah, this is where you end up. And there's a tremor. Because do you think they were, maybe, I don't know, we're going to have to find out. Do you think they were fearful because of the sounds of the shofar? Do you think they were fearful because of the lightnings? They saw the 10 markers in Mitzrayim. So why were they so fearful right here? And why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose to give the Torah in such a manner? This I will definitely not preach. But it's a tremendous yesod in here. I'm going to try to touch it to give you a little bit of it because it's a tremendous, tremendous yesod, and I will develop it by Hashem on Shabbos. So we're going to focus here on just the beginning of the first pasuk, you know, on this inyan of the Vav and the inyan of the why they're missing here, you know, maybe we will be able to reach why they're written in the third pasuk, but I doubt. But we'll try, by Hashem, we'll do whatever we can, but I will give you a conclusion on everything so we don't miss out because it's too important here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a Torah. And I'm staying on this page for a reason, because I'm not starting the Shiur as usual. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us mitzvahs in this Torah. And these mitzvahs, we have an understanding that it's a burden. But this is only for someone who doesn't understand the purpose of the mitzvahs. We know that Korach, that fell in the ground, till today, people say, you know, the Gemara brings down that an Arab shepherd, which is usually it's Eliyahu Navi, showed, I forgot which Tana, I told him, let me show you where you can hear in the Midbar Korach. And he says, Moshe emes v'seirasa emes. Moshe is true and his Torah is true. In other words, everything our eyes, we spoke enough last week about the eyes, everything our eyes see is smoke. And therefore, this is going to emphasize what we learned last week, that we have to see with the eyes of the dust, with the eyes of the brain, not with the eyes of flesh. And if I have time, I will give you also, because I'm going to speak also about this on Shabbos, because, you know, and I take this yesod, I'm running it through basically everything that happened in this parsha, from Yisro himself, the name of the parsha, all the way, you bring it back to the man in Beshalach, whatever you see that yesod exactly sticking out. So I'm going to have to give you this. Now, if we look at the word mitzvahs, but I don't want, obviously the Torah didn't hint it like this. If you take it in full, mem, tzaddik, vav, stop, equals a number. The number is 630. To show you that the mitzvahs are the mitzvahs of the Torah. We got the Torah by Moshe Rabbeinu. Equals 630. Starting B'dafka with this, so we see Moshe emes v'seirasa emes. Who gave us This, if you want to play, equals Torah. Inside the Torah, there's 613 mitzvahs, and this is what it is. Who gave us the Torah? It says in the Pasuk, it's Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Eloike Yisrael, equals 630. These 613 mitzvahs came from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, given to Moshe, and they are written in the Torah. Now we understand something, but there are two words which I'm going to explain up now that also equals 630. It's Ekev. If you put Ekev with MS, equal 613. Please remind me at the end of the show, I'll explain you exactly what it means, because once we're going to develop the union of the Vav and everything, you will understand clearly what's happening and this game of Vav and Yud all through times, and why it's still a 5, and where did it start? The whole story behind the story I'm going to give you here. Okay, now we can start. The Komana HaKadosh explains that the Vav, when it says Vayehi ha'amudim, the bars that they used to put through the amudim in the Mishkan, the 48 amudim that were holding them together, it's called Vayehi ha'amudim. It's the letter Vav. Vav attaches, that's why Vav is Chibur, attaches. And in the Mishkan, it was letters Vav that were holding the amudim together. That's what he says. And let's go for it to see, how deep his thoughts are. How funny that the Gemara in Kiddushin says that the middle letter of the Torah is Vav. Why? Because you have the right side and the left side, like when you roll, and you have the two sides being put together with the letter Vav. What is the pasuk of the middle letter of the Torah? Let me show you that. Share screen. Share. It says in Vayikra, in Shmini, Koil hoylech al gachain. And gachain is a big Vav in the Sefer Torah. It's a very long Vav. Why? To show that it is the middle of the Torah here. And same thing in there, it says Darash Moshe Darshan, Darash Moshe. Darash is the middle word of the Torah. That's what it is. There's a war about this among all the Mefarshim, because they did a computer count. So I'm going to save you everything. I'm just might be going to bring you the Maharsha on this Gemara, how he explains this, but I'm going to go to computer world. In the computer world, there are 79,980 words in the Sefer Torah. Divide by 2, you're going to get the middle. Though, it doesn't come to Darash, like the Gemara says. We far thousands of words away. If you take the number of letters is 304,805. And if you take the half of it, it comes 4,834 letters away from the Vav that the Gemara points out, the Gachem. Almost 5,000 letters. How can Chazal, with the Ruach HaKodesh in the Gemara, how can Chazal, I'm not going to say it, let it go out of my mouth, these words. How can Chazal tell us that it is the middle? Chazal make no mistake, but the computer shows us that we are thousands of words away from Darash, And we are almost 5,000 letters away from the Vav of Gachem. It was a nice vault to tell us that the Vav is the connecting, letter, and it has first half, second half of the Torah. Not that we care, if it's a third half, what are you trying to tell me here? I'm only going to dwell today into the Vav, the importance we're going to understand, and we're going to go back to the Pasuk. Because if we don't go deep into this inyan, we will never understand a lot of the languages of the Pasuk, and you will see how many times it's repeated. For you to know, the Mahashar says all the letters of the Torah really compose. You have to know how to compose them together because they compose the name of Hashem. And Gachem refers to the Nachash, and comes say that the Nachash has no place in the Torah. In other words, if you need to beat the Nachash, and I will develop that point, but not from the Mahashar, a little bit later, if you need to beat the Nachash, you need to access the Torah. Fine. I personally don't understand how that you can translate the Gemara, what the Gemara said that Vav of Gachem is the middle of the Torah. You explained me, you expanded on the word Gachem, which is the Nachash. I understand. But the Gemara is talking specifically about the middle letter of the Torah. I don't see the correlation here. Number two, we just said, calculated by computers, that it's not the middle. So why are Chazal saying that it is the middle? I'm going to jump all the machlokes. I want to bring you a midrash, a tremendous midrash in Parshas Vayikra. Actually, it's in Shmini. It's Vayikra Rabbah. For those who want to check it up in the words, it's Yud Gimel Gimel. Tremendous Yesodic midrash. This midrash said, Rab Avin Bar Kahana said, a pasuk in Yeshaya, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, Torah chadasha me'iti seitze. There will be a new Torah coming out from me. Chidush Torah, it's going to be a noveling of the Torah me'iti seitze. In other words, the Midrash touched that pasuk that there will be a new Torah. So the Torah we have today will be obsolete, I guess. That's what the Midrash says. But we don't understand. I mean, he can just give us a jab and doesn't explain this Midrash. There's a Midrash in Tehillim that on the pasuk of Iyov, tremendous lo yoda enoish erka. People do not know the importance and the value of the Torah. Why? Says Rabbi Elazar, son of Shin Bar Yochai, speaks in the Midrash too, not only in the Zohar. The parshias of the Torah were not placed in the right order. Why? Because if they were placed in the right order, anyone who reads them by just reading the Torah, he would be able to create worlds, to revive dead people, and to make miracles by just reading. That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu hid the order of the Torah, and the true worth, value of the Torah can only be seen by those who know the right order. In other words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu changed and hid the order of the Torah for people, for the wrong people not to do the wrong things within misusing the koyach of the Torah. However, the Torah has a different order that Chazal knew, and with that order, you can make miracles. Your death doesn't mean anything. You just go or open the parsha. You know that is the parsha that has the. You go read it. Whoop, the dead is revived. In Tana de Eliyahu at the end, this is the Sefer of Eliyahu Hanavi. He expands on this notion of new Torah. He says at the end, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will destroy the whole entire world. As it says in the Pasuk, in Yeshaya, V'nisgav Hashem levadoi bayomahu. On that day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be alone. How long is the day of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? 1,000 years. When is Shabbos? The seventh day. When is that 1,000 years where there will be nobody on earth? It will be, we are 5,000 something. When we reach the 6,000 year, so now we're holding by Kabbalah Shabbos almost. If you calculate 5,784 on the hours of the week, and when we make Kabbalah Shabbos by Shkia, we are by Shkia. So, but we know that when we'll start the sabbatical millennial, there'll be no one in the world. The world will go back to full destruction. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will recreate. This is, I'll go back to Tana de Eliyahu. And by the way, this is how the Rambam sees things after Mashiach, that Ramban is choylek, but the Rambam says 1,000 years, it will remain empty. Yeah, it's not easily understandable, this concept, because if we have the Olam Haba, what the heck do you want to stay here? Who would want to? We don't see people coming back from the other side to here. They don't want to come back. It's too good on the other side. Once they reach the other side, they say, oh my God, it was under my nose. How didn't I know? Because of our eyes. Because of the concept what we build, the shapes and forms we build in our minds through the eyes, through this vision. But as we see here, the erka of the Torah, the worth of meaning, everything is in the moyach, in the mind. So at that point, after the 7,000 year, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will recreate a world, and he will have a brand new sky, a brand new earth. It's not going to be the earth that Manhattan was here, and it's going to be a different planet, totally different planet. Yerushalayim will be the same, so it will be exported, but it will be a different planet. And at that point, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come down and mingle with his children and give shiurim on a new Torah. What is this new Torah? There's two ways to explain it. This new Torah is like Midrash Tehillim. Maybe HaKadosh Baruch Hu will put our Torah in the right order. Or the new Torah is the Torah we learn in Gan Eden. You remember, when Moshe Rabbeinu came down the first time, so when Bnei Yisrael arrived before Mount Sinai, they completed the repairing of Adam HaRishon sins and the 4 doiros, also the 4 generations that followed. They completed them. Therefore, the Nachash lost his power and death was removed from the world. Death was gone. Moshe Rabbeinu is bringing, so at that point is eternity for people to live, and Bnei Yisrael, so it's like Mashiach. Moshe Rabbeinu comes up from Shamayim with the luchas, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu wrote. With the stone, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu carved. But that very day is the day when they do the ego. Not the Bnei Yisrael, but the Erev. But they go to the Bnei Yisrael, Elo Elokecha Yisrael. You can see already the sneakiness of these people. If you have a problem, you believe that Moshe Rabbeinu was Niftar, okay, say it's your God. You want to go back. You want to find a leader that's going to show you, that's going to show you the way in the Midbar to get to the promised land, which is Mitzrayim for you. But why do you say Ele Elohecha Yisrael? When they heard that, Israel would not mingle. They looked around. Back, they got caught with their eyes. When you have a level of rishus like this, you have to know, at that point, it's also to look. When people come to Beis Din, the two parties, Dayanim, are also to look at them. They're considered Reshaim, and they could affect you with the, especially that you have to go through halacha, they can affect you. It's also to look at them. When they come out, then they accepted the din, you're allowed to look at them. So you see the effect on the brain, the effect of the eyes on the brain. So Moshe Rabbeinu comes down with a very Torah that everything about it was done by a Kadosh Baruch. However, as he's coming down, this Torah, the letters start flying out, back. So it was so heavy, the luchas, and Moshe Rabbeinu, an old man, was carrying them like this with one hand. Why? Because the letters of the Torah are so holy that they were carrying the luchas. But as the letters were leaving, the Midrash says, the luchas became heavier and heavier until Moshe could not carry them, and it let it fall. Now, what does he say about the second luchas? Moshe Rabbeinu found a stone of Sanpirion, it's a gemstone in his tent, in the ground. He carved them. Who wrote the second luchas? Moshe Rabbeinu. We see a huge difference between the first luchas and the second luchas. Which luchas have we received? The second one, not the one that Hashem wrote. Says the Zohar HaKodesh. Now, I think I said it last week in the Shiur. Just want to make sure it's the Shiur. No, I don't want to mingle in the kid. I didn't say it in that Shiur here because you want to understand. And I don't want to go being sidetracked. When a person learns Torah in this world, it gives him a certain level of credits for the next world. However, it's not the only thing that gives him a credit. When a person learns 2 halachas in the morning and 2 halachas at night, now I'm saying it too bad, and he works during the day, but honestly, this person is considered as if he had learned the whole day with the right intent. Again, this person has time to learn 2 halachas in the morning, 2 halachas at night. And during the day, he works, but he works honestly. So when he goes to shul, he's behind. He's not the guy who understands the shiur of the rabbi who's brilliant to the ilul. He's trying his best on Shabbos, but he's not there. But on him, say Chazal, that it's exactly as if he had learned the whole day with the right machshavos. What do you mean with the right machshavos? Look at the rabbi. This rabbi knows Soid, he knows Kabbalah, he knows Halacha, he knows Shas. He's the big guy. In Shamayim, you look at the guy, you say, if we would judge him, we would say he will be Rosh Yeshiva in Shamayim. They will open him a yeshiva. Says the Zohar HaKodesh, when the person is put in the grave, and the grave is filled up back up. There's a malach that opens a window in the grave. The person is not dead, remember that. We call them dead. They're everything but dead. And opens a window and he says, come, my son, get out of there. And he comes that all of a sudden it's a room full of light. And he says, I'm the malach responsible to teach Torah that you will know in Olam Haba to every person. And he say, you deserve so much Torah, and you have to know that from that day on, you will be called Rabbi. That's your title. And you will be in that yeshiva and that yeshiva. Zara College. What does he teach him? The Torah of the first luchas. In the Torah of the first luchas, there's no machloikas, there's no discussion if the halacha is like this, there's no safek. Everything is clear and things can be done in a light, because if you take the word oiros, lights equals 613. But this, we don't see those lights in the Torah of the second luchas, the hidden lights, but we see the light in the Torah of the first luchas. And now comes the rabbi. You know, the whole family there says, you know, it's Olam Haba and everything. Then come. Oh, first of all, there's no one opening a window there. I'm not telling you for myself. I'm just repeating a Zohar. Okay, guys, don't tell me I have ideas or anything like this. So there's no window, and there's a malach comes on the grave, put his foot on him with a chain, huge chain. And he says, what's your name? And he goes, and he starts hitting. What's your name? Can't remember. What's your name? And he hits, and he breaks all the bones. Now you're going to ask me, and I understand the question, what happened? Why is that person receiving such a treatment when he learned all his life? Okay, maybe he had a little bit of COVID and he felt good and everything. Okay, but he learned Torah. Kadosh Baruch Hu is not interested in the outside. The chitzeni is where you show me, Kadosh Baruch Hu is not interested. Kadosh Baruch Hu is interested in what's inside. You go to work and you try to say, I have to be honest. And you have this, the emes, you're holding the emes, the tiferes. The tiferes is where the Torah came from. This is the shoresh of the Torah. You're holding on to it. Now you understand why it's considered the whole day that you are learning Torah, because you're holding onto. The guy doesn't want to hear Lashon Hara during his work hours because people have tendency to speak on this and on that. He's learning Torah with the right intent the whole day. He's holding into the emes. He's holding into the tiferes. He's holding to Yaakov Avinu and Moshe Rabbeinu. His whole day is the right intent. Despite the fact that he has no, to the people's eyes, he's not a rich person, and at the same time, he's not very learned because he only learned 2 halachos in the morning, in the evening. To the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's a Bein Kodesh. He's holding in the Tiferes. People are not going to see his light, but he shines from one side of the world to the other side of the world. The second one, the one who gives the Shiur, is as dark as people burning in why? Because it's very dangerous. I'll give you an example. You have a minister of the king, and you have a commoner. Sometime he come, the king knows him a little bit, from very far away, because every morning he likes to come, and he's been by the castle, and he says, hello, my king. He doesn't know that the king sees him. He thinks, just out of politeness, the king is happy. He says, look at this guy. Now you have the minister of the king. It's been caught red-handed stealing the king. Okay, that commoner there is not important. But to the eyes of the king, look at this person, comes and greet me and is mechabed me every day. To his eyes, he's more important than the minister. And now that the minister has been caught stealing, he's not going to go having a suffix, going to cut off his head. And he might bring that guy to be minister because he said, I can rely on him. He is trustworthy. He doesn't expect the world to answer him, but out of politeness, he bows down to the king every morning before he goes to his work, before he goes to the thing, and he comes back at night and he say, good evening, my king, I'm going home now. Take reshus from the king. The king trusts a person like this. The king needs people like this around him. It's the same thing in Shamayim. Those people that you see in the back of the show, be ready to see them Rashi Yeshivas in the next world. Anyway, so now we start understanding that there is a lot more in the Torah. So the Vav here, what does it has to do? So now we're gonna go and start the whole Shiur where we go back from the beginning. So when the Torah tells you Gachen is the middle of the Torah, that Vav is the middle, because Chazal knew the right order of the Torah and of the words. Because even the second luchas have a tremendous power. And if they were in the right order, people would have been able to do miracles with them. So when Chazal say in the Gemara that Gachen, the Vav of Gachen, and the word Dorish, that's why Dorish, Dorash is never written in the same letter, in the same line in the Sefer Torah. One at the end of the line, one at the beginning, to show that they are the two parts of the Torah. It doesn't steam in our Sefer Torah, it doesn't matter. That's the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants it, because the righteous ones, the tzaddikim, know the right order of the Torah, and they know that this is what it's supposed to be, period. But where does it start from? I mean, what's this whole purpose? What's this inyan of this Vav appearing, disappearing, being in a place and a thing? What's going on here? This is not something that starts here, or that started the day before, or the generation before, or even 10 generations before. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the person, it says in the Pasuk, I hope I wrote it. Yeah, I wrote it. Vayitzer, the Zohar says there are two yuds here. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu created man, he could have said Vayitzer, just like everywhere in the Torah, there's only one yud. Why two yud in here? So there's a few answers in the Zohar, Zachar and Nekeva, as it's one. But here the Zohar HaKadosh says, that's what it is. When a person does good, he affects these two letters. Remember, sorry. So you see it. Yud Vav are the males. This is Chachma Kucha Berich. This is Bina, Hey, and this is Malchus. So you have all the worlds included in the name of Hashem. Hashem includes all the worlds. Vayitzer, now there are Chataim, Chma Itzlan, that affects the Malchus, some affect the Bina, some affect the Vayehi, up to the Chachma. This person has no future here and no future in next world. I'll give you an example. A person says Lashon Hara. A person is Moitzi Diba. You know how much I force you and I tell you, to watch the mouth. It's your das. People that talk bad, they're doing bad things in the back, but not because of that. Because of that tremendous notion that's brought in the Chesed LaAvraham, in the Reshis Chachma, in the Yesod B'Shoresh HaAvodah, in the Avodas HaKodesh, all the fire type of sfarim. When son in the Gemara, people that get shame and then they don't shame back. They like the sun, which the sun is Zah. Sun is Kucha Berichu. This is how HaKadosh Baruch Hu looks at them. But the Chesed Avram gives us a little more insight into it, and there is Chochmah also that was before him, Talmid of the Ramak, says that when a person talks bad about you, you have to know that you have to say thank you to him. Because at that time, he gave you all his Olam Haba, and he took all your Gehinna. All. That's why the Zohar says in Parshas Metzora that this person has lost his neshama. He's not the same person that 5 minutes beforehand. He has a nefesh, ruach, and neshama from the nachash. He lost his ruach, nefesh, ruach, neshama from the kedusha, and if he dies like this, and if the kohen does not rebuild his 10 midas from the kedusha and gets him a new nefesh, ruach, neshama, he will become an evil spirit. He will never come back to this world. I don't care if he's a rabbi. I don't care if he's a commoner. I don't care. He's not coming back to the world. He's not seeing Olam Haba. He becomes an evil spirit. What happens to him in the kever? A huge snake comes and rolls around his body to say he is mine. Nobody can access. Takes him. It's a tremendous suffering. It happened to the Beis Halevi. He was learning one time with his son, and the guy from the Kehila came, bashed him out. The Beis Halevi stood up with his head down, his hands on his heart, and he heard all the bizayon and all the insults that this person was giving, was saying. And then the person left. So Beis Halevi, the Beis Halevi ran after him and said, I have to thank you. Take a look at him. I just insulted you. You want to thank me? And he told him, yes, you gave me all your Olam Haba and you took all my Gehinna. Thank you. Because I had so much Gehinna, I was mamish tittering. This is why. These two letters are going to be the letters of the world, of every event that happens in the world. Nothing else. These are the two letters. Vayehi. And we're going to start seeing them. What is the Vav? So we going to start seeing this fight very clearly about Noach. Noach, we call him the Ish Tzadik. Noach equals 58, 4 times 16. Noach corrected the four sides of the world, the letters Vav. But says the Gemara that when he went after the Teva and he had wine, again, he corrupted them. That's why it's this 13. If I show you the 13, the truth is there's 14, but the Gemara counts only 13. I think I wrote it. Vayachel Noach, Vayehi. Right away, Vayita Karam, Vayesht, Vayehi, Vayishkar. You never seen the Torah. These were connected. Vayizgal, Vayarach, Chama B'Kenan, Vayaged, Vayikach, Vayelchu, Vayechasu, Vayiketznaya, Vayeda. You never see, the Gemara said it's done on purpose to tell you that he has basically corrupted the entire, whatever he has done, whatever he had corrected, he basically undid it. That's when HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent Adam Arishon out of the Gan Eden, it says Vayigoresh, sent him out with the two letters that he needed to correct. Then comes Cain and Hevel. Cain from the bad side, we spoke about it a few weeks ago, and Hevel comes from the good side, and Vayetze Cain milifnei Hashem. What we spoke last week, what did Cain bring? He was eating linen grains, which he had broiled, and whatever the leftover. Cain was not interested. So now this is the fight. What are these two letters representing? These two letters are the one providing the bounty, the one providing the shefa. Whoever can capture them, automatically his sar in Shamayim rules the other 70, and the nation down here becomes the superpower in the world. This tells you where America, the fight with China, this whole thing, it's all about this two-letter Vav Yud. When Cain was scared after he killed Hevel that anyone who finds him will kill him, he said, anyone who's going to find me will kill me. It doesn't say Vayehi. Happy if Cain gets out of this world. But Cain wanted to take these two letters, was not interested in having them in the Kedusha. He wanted to bring the Shefa to the other side, so there's no more Oynesh. What happens? When the Malchus received the lights from the Chochmah, because the Chochmah is the father is always connected to the daughter, and from the Yesod, Kucha Berichu, the husband, per se, to the Malchus can provide to this world and see who deserves, who doesn't deserve. However, when the Malchus doesn't get Oiros, doesn't get these lights, again, Oiros 6:13 doesn't get these lights, has nothing to do. It's out of the picture, so the other side can take over. This is the game. This is the Derha Flaga, what they wanted to do. Esav was born, it says in the Rashi, in Parshas Toldos, with hair. It brings from Targum Yonasan, like a kid of many years old. He was asug, he was completed, while Yaakov was not completed. He was holding the Akev Esav. Yaakov was supposed to be called Ekev. Oh, now we see Ekev Emes. The middle of Yaakov is Ekev, is Emes, and he was supposed to be called Ekev. Ekev Emes, the Torah. Where is Yaakov? In the Tiferes. Where is the Torah coming from? From the Tiferes. So now Yaakov was supposed to be called Ekev. Esav was supposed to be called Asui, completed. So he had the Vav Yud. Why? He's a Bechor. He's entitled to have it. But Yaakov saw that Esav is the Rasha, is the Nachash. He would misuse them. So he stole the Yud first. He added it to Ekev. Ekev plus Yud, Yaakov. And he tried to fight to also steal the Vav. And at the end of time only, will that Vav be included in the name of Yaakov, as it says in the Torah. I want to show you the pasuk. Vezacharti es berisi Yaakov. Rashi says on this pasuk, why is there a Vav? 5 times in the Torah there's a Vav. And there's 5 times in the Midrash says there's 5 times Eliyahu Hanavi is called Eliya without a Vav. Yaakov was mashbia Eliyahu and gave him the vav, but he said, you have to bring the geula to my son. You cannot delay it. Made him swear it. So the 5 times Yaakov have it, Eliyahu doesn't have it. You see, the Torah is very meticulous and very mathematical. Now, why 5 times? Rashi doesn't say. Because I'm going to tell you. Because when Esau asked for the Nezid Adashim for that soup that Yaakov made out of lentils, because it was the day that Abraham was niftar, and this is a food for Avelim, it says, so Esau came very tired. The Midrash tells us he killed Nimrod because he saw him with the claw of Adam HaRishon, that all animals were coming and bowing down to Nimrod because Nimrod had that claw of Adam HaRishon. He jumped at him in his back, killed him. A whole story how it happened, how to fight the god, whatever. He stole the cloth, and then he went and he had relations with, let's say, forbidden relations with that Arayos. And that's why he says he came tired from the head. And he had Nezida Dashim. Like, we care what soup he had, right? Do you care or you don't care? We're not really. The Torah has to tell us also maybe how Yaakov prepared the soup. Nezid Adashim equals 495. 495 with 1 equals Malchus. Esau is always fighting the Malchus. It's also Vayehi kol moitzi again in Kain. I'm not going to go into this, but it's the Malchus. What's happening here? Right away, he bashes the letters. It's 5 times he's going to mention Vai. And Rashi, every time it says this word Vai, at the beginning of the way, it says Vai. The Zohar says Vai. Oh, woe to the world, what's happening? He said, Vayivez Esau v'sabichor, vayoichal vayesh, vayakim vayelech, vayivez Esau v'sabichor. 5 times Vai. Because now you sold the Bechera to Yaakov and you denigrated it. You look at it down and everything. Not at the Bechera, at the Vai, because the right you had with the Bechera was the letter Vai. So now you have no importance about this. Very good. They're gone. So Yaakov took the Vai, gave it to Eliyahu and everything. But it's not over. And here we're going to go one level deeper. And I'm sorry, I know it's a little bit hard on this Shiur because I just want to give you an overlook and the importance of those vav that are missing, because they are definitely a big purpose, and you will understand with this part. A person has 2 tracheids. One is the kone, for the air. One is the veshet, is for the food and the drink. Okay, let's go into for you to understand. Interestingly, when we talk about the man, it says in the pasuk, shatu. They will spread out the people and they will gather the man. What is shatu? Says the Zohar HaKadosh. If you take this letter and we're going to extend it, what do you have? Satan. Says the Zohar HaKadosh, this word comes. What it means? They went there. I went out. Okay, the man we knew, he was Michus Lamachne for them, for the Rishain. So you don't have to tell us everything they're doing. They're going to gather. Tell me they put it in the pouch. Tell me from the pouch where they put it in the kitchen, and so forth. We don't need all these details. That's why the Zohar is medagdik here. He says the letter Vav can turn into a Nun. And many times you're going to rewrite words with that. An action will affect the Vav. The Vav will turn into a longer thing. Yud, if you take the three letters that are being expanded like this, Yud can turn to a Vav. It's the same, it's just longer. It turns to a Nun. What do you read here? Can someone read a word here? Okay, I'm going to give it to you.
Yavan.
Very good. Yavan was created by the Yidden. There is no enemy that can stand against the Bnei Yisrael when they do the Torah, when they keep the Vav, Kucha Berichu, and the Yud of Yaakov Avinu. But once the actions are getting worse and worse, it becomes Yavan. Then they come for our life. They can, you know, America succeeded against the Jews without a bullet. What the Yavanim never succeeded. Poisoned our mind. Thinking like Yavanim. Here you have the thing of America. They feel they're in charge. They feel it's mutter to talk. They feel it's mutter to do things. The Torah, what it says, forget about it. We're in America here. We're American first. Conservatives, you know? We are the Dayanim. We are the this. We are the that. And we're going to bash anyone else. And Arur, Makeh, Achiv Basalser, the Omar Kolam Amen. They're over on the horror of the Torah. These people that pretend politics in the face, they're always nice and everything. They pretend to be your friend. And in the back, they hit you b'cheref b'fiyos b'yadam, and their mouth is like a sword in their hands, and they stab you in the back. Oh, do you think nobody sees, nobody heard you? You're kofer be'ikar. HaKadosh Baruch Hu stands right there, and he hears. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows that the other person heard it and didn't say anything about it, didn't answer, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows. When that person says, I hear this, and his base says, I'm Moichel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu heard it. We don't see the oiros, we don't see the thing, they're here. A person who doesn't believe in this is a kofer be'ikar. This person, I'll sign it with my Gan Eden on this, that this person will turn to be an evil spirit after 120 years. I don't wish them bad. I wish that they do tshuva, you know, but they're reshoim to a level that we cannot understand. The Erev Rav, as we spoke, the Amalekim, these are these people. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu should open their eyes, and hopefully they're going to do tshuva. Now, I want to defer to a little bit outside of our subject, but it will answer you. Remember, every time I've been makpid that when we go to the table, I tell you your parnasa is on that table, the shulchan. The menorah, I told you the oiros, the lights of the menorah don't light toward the Aron HaKodesh, they light the shulchan. The shulchan. What's important about the shulchan is the gashmias. You don't understand. This is the biggest avodah. This is exactly the purpose we're coming to that world, to take physicality and be able to bring it to spirituality. In other words, when a baby is born, starts whining, wants to eat. He doesn't know any other language. That's the way he forces his mother to feed him. Whine and whine and whine. Eating is the only habit we have been able to overpower most of our habits. This one, we needed to live. When a person eats, is the biggest danger. The Avodas HaKodesh says is Shas Sakana. The Pele Yoed says is Shas Milchama. Why? They both say the Avodas HaKodesh was before. He says, look at the head of the table. Who's sitting there? The Satan. And he's waiting for your actions. He's waiting to see what you are doing and how you're going to behave on the table. Because if you start saying Leitzanos, if you start talking about others, Lashon Hara, or whatever, he starts dancing on the table he owns. He owns everybody that sits on the table. All the parnasa that was dictated for that person is taken away. Says the Avodas HaKodesh, stay away, not only from friendly gatherings around food or drinks during the week, even on Shabbos, especially those empty people that are not going to talk Divrei Torah. Says the Pele Yoetz, that when you start eating, you should start trembling. You're such danger. It's a war. You don't know that you're going to come out. You may lose all your life, because here we only have one life. When we go to war, the guys get killed. It's not coming back. Every time you approach the table, it might be your last shot. You may leave the table as someone else. Why? Because the vav of shatu, veshet, where you eat, it's going to get longer. And it's going to become satan. What does it tell you? Says the Zohar HaKadosh, you became entirely part of the satan. You lost everything of Kedusha. You have no nefesh, ruach, neshama from Kedusha. You have nefesh, ruach, neshama, the nachash. And this is the story of the vav. Now, I don't want to expand and bring you into gematrias to prove, as usual, my point here. I think it's pretty much understandable without going into Bnei Yisrael. How do the goyim do it? Bnei Yisrael, it says in the pasuk, they went to the Kur HaBarzel. We saw the Kur HaBarzel a few times. Melech Mitzrayim, you know, that was the name of the thing. That's why he says Kur HaBarzel. Kur HaBarzel was the dinim, the terrible dinim that Bnei Yisrael went through in Mitzrayim. Maybe I can give it to you a different way, without having to expound in the names of Hashem, because I think I'm going to lose you toward the end of the shiur, and I would like to finish on a happy note and everything. If we take this pasuk, and I would explain Korah about it at the end. I'm always like this. Ki lo yanuach shevet haresha, in Tehillim, David HaMelech said, the tribe of the wicked will never rest. Al goyra al tzadikim. Always gonna go after the lot of the tzadikim. They're never happy, the reshaim. They're always gonna go after. What is David HaMelech say here? There's a whole zohar on this pasuk. Tremendous to learn, but I'm going to give it to you simple. Shevet Haresha equals 886. I'm interested to know how they attack the tzaddik. You have to try to understand. Now, we know that all the dinim are in the name Elohim. So how do you bring the dinim to this on the tzaddik? How do you try to bring a kitrug, the nasty Rasha here on earth is going to bashmutz the tzaddik in order to bring a kitrug on him? Why? Because he's jealous of anything he has, whatever he has. Maybe some is for his house, some is for his wife, some is for his knowledge, some is for whatever, his money, whatever you want to find. He's jealous. Jealousy is not something rational, so you can explain it. Now, if we write it the three ways that it's written in the Sod of the Kabbalah, meaning the expanded Aleph, Lamed. Hey, Yud for the first one. Yud. Mem. This equals 300. Now the second way with the Aleph. So it's Aleph with the Hey. There's only one letter is going to change. So I'm going to go faster. It's a Hey, Yud, Mem. Equals Eretz, by the way. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. I should say 291. The third way is a Hey written. Aleph, Lamed, Hey for here, Yud, Mem. Equals 295. Very well. Add the three of them equals 886. Shevet Haresha, they don't understand with the level of critique or pro-critique or whatever they say with a dirty mouth that is a sewer. All they do on the goyra, on the lot of the tzaddikim, they're not happy. These guys are happy. They learn Torah, they have a thing, they're going with a little thing. And no, you have a bad eye. Why is the ani has a little lamp? You look at it with ayin hara. So how is it tzaddik says the zohar on this because I've got to give you this? Goyra is Rachel. It's almost the same gematria as Rachel with one difference. They try to Eurozup, or if I got to say that word, Rachel Imeinu. Like Esau, when he came, what did he do, Yosef? He was the Yesoid. He stood before his mother, so he doesn't lay his dirty eyes on Rachel Imeinu. But every time the tzaddikim protect the Goyral, the Rachel, and they're after the Malchus. They won't eat Chachman Tzlan down. So how is the tzaddik protects himself? What did we say? Who is called tzaddik? The Yesoid. Yosef had tzaddik because he was shomer the bris. Which name we have in the bris we saw last week? Yud Ke Vav Ke, Shakai, like a mezuzah. Shakai on the outside, and Yud Ke Vav Ke on the inside. So now we take them in full. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, Shin, Dalet, Nun, Yud. Equals 886. The tzaddik has the protection. There's nothing you need to do. The dinim won't be able to affect you as long as you're holding a bris kodesh. That's all it is. These two names will take all the name Elohim and will stop the kid. That's the way the world is fighting. What is the bris? The yud and the vav. That's the whole world is built around this. Be a man, elevate yourself, have everything in the head. Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu, the koil shofar, the shofar and the vav. The koil is the vav. Moshe Rabbeinu is going to speak so why Vayehi? Because Bnei Yisrael at this moment, they have reached the higher level when they corrected what? Vayehi, the Vai. What's going to happen after? They're going to lose it. You understand the tsar? You understand the tsar of the Torah? Why? We say Vayehi not once, but twice. Because we have reached the level of Geula, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu will appear in his world. V'nizgav Hashem levado, Hashem will be only ruling in the world. And we lost it. And we lost it after a very short time for stupidities. Of who? Of the children of Bilam that are going to do the egg. Why? Because we have two eyes. And we saw with our two eyes. What do they complain? The Erev Rav to Moshe Rabbeinu in Parshas Chukas, how do they call disrespectfully the man lechem hakelokel? And it's written without a vav. Kal Kal. The Zohar speaks about it. But Kal equals Ayin. Kal equals Ayin. These people live with their eyes. And they're not interested in the spiritual bread. They want physicality. But us, the Bnei Yisrael, we Ayin and Ayin equals to 60. All we do is we want to get closer and elevate ourselves to the 10 times Yud Kei Vav Kei, means Yud Kei Vav Kei in full mode. That's the purpose. That's why the Vav are missing. We lost them. We arrived. We completed the tikkun of the world, and we lost it. And the pasuk says twice, Vayehi, Vayehi, Baruch Adonai le'olam, Amen ve'amen. And B'ez Hashem, on Shabbos morning, we'll take it from here, and we'll go weiter on this, because there's a continuation.